It's the nation's favourite antiques experts.
Yes, a good weight.
And it smells.
Oh, steady, behind the wheel of a classic car.
Good morning, my lady.
Good morning, Parker.
And a goal to scar Britain for antiques. Whoopsie.
Come on.
The aim to make the biggest profit at auction. But it's no mean feat. They'll be worthy winners.
And valiant losers.
Will it be the high road to glory?
It's about winning.
Or the low road to disaster? Pop, pop. This is the Antiques Road Trip. Oh, crikey. Really? Get your motor running and head out on the byways. Christina Trevanian and Charles Hanson are looking for adventure and antiques. North Yorkshire. Ooh-ah.
I might have congestion, but there's no traffic congestion. Look, we're completely free, you and I, lost in the wilderness.
Yeah, again.
Taking this Yorkshire air.
Well, that's what I thought. It might help clear the cold a bit.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with that, love.
Purely selfishly, I don't want those bugs in the lid. Get them out! Get them out!
So there's nothing wrong with that air.
The air may be fresh, but Charles is honking.
Give us a honk. No honk.
No.
This delectable double act of road tripping in a classic convertible, a 1969 left-hand drive Fiat Spider.
You're going to be dangerous today. You're in one of those Charlie Hanson slightly reckless moods. You're all feisty.
Is that a bad thing?
Yeah, because it means you're going to drive a hard bargain, and I'm in trouble.
Charles and Christina started their road trip with £200 apiece. After suffering some auction misfortune, Charles has £171.38 in his piggy bank left to spend. Christina's little piggy is also feeling the pinch. She has just over £190 in the bank.
Well, how will you play this penultimate?
Well, you see, day 4 for me is always a bit of a decider, because I think day 4 really decides who's going to win it.
Oh, don't say that.
No, I think it's true.
It's like a book, isn't it?
What?
We're halfway through the book. It's been a thriller.
Oh, it's a bit of romance, I think.
Romance? That's still to come.
Oh.
That's still to come.
Our heroes are on an epic journey worthy of Homer himself. Simpson? Travelling coast to coast, their antique odyssey has taken them from Lancashire through Cumbria and Wales. Their adventure will end in Newcastle upon Tyne at the final auction. Today, they'll finish in Rotherham, but first, Charles has dropped off Christina and is heading towards a market town just outside Harrogate. This delightful little place is in the ancient parish of Kirkby Malesard, and it's home to Sarah Jones Antiques. Small but perfectly formed. Nice.
Hello there.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
How are you?
Nice to see you.
I'm Sarah. I'm
Hi,
Sarah Jones.
What a lovely shop.
Very much.
You've been here a while?
Been here 3 years now.
Now, tell me being ignorant, where am I exactly?
You're in Kirby Malzard.
It's the most beautiful place.
Ah, there you go. Kirby Malzard. Easy. Sarah's Emporium is chock-a-block full of antique delights, but Charles has to bear in mind his budget. He can't go spending an arm and a leg. Don't sniff it.
Always nice to see oak lining on chest of drawers. I prefer oak to pine. A good sign of quality.
Yeah, and also, the thinner those drawer linings, normally, the better the cabinet maker that made it.
So what we look for on a good chest of drawers is the all-important dovetailing. And often, the more fine they are, the higher the quality, and they can help date drawers as well. Sarah?
Yes.
Nice chest of drawers. How much is it, please?
For you, £80.
And that gives you a margin still. You've called it Edwardian.
Okay.
What do you think? It's Georgian.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. I mean, if you look at where the handles have dropped, look at that shadow there and that big indentation. That's not done in 100 years. That's taken 250 years to create. So actually, circa 1770. And for £80, it's almost rude not to. Don't you agree? and I love it.
While Charles ponders splurging on the Georgian chest of drawers, Christina is in the pretty village of Thirsk, surrounded by wild moorland in the Vale of Mowbray. Christina is shopping in 3 Tons Antiques, located in an old stable. She's casting her expert eye over their vast collection of antiques.
See, I love shelves like this. Look at this. I mean, it's sort of like a cabinet of curiosities. You've got really decadent, wonderful things like sugar sifter spoons. When was the last time anyone ever used a sugar sifter spoon for your strawberries?
Well, actually, I was sprinkling sweetness from my sifter only just last night.
Oh, that's cute. I think that's great. Very typically little Edwardian condiment set. You would have had obviously your mustard in here, you've got your original spoon, and you've got your pepper in here, and obviously your little open salt in there. So often you'll find that these glass bits have been chipped or cracked or lost over the mists of time, but I think that's really quite sweet. £50. Ooh, gosh.
Yeah, sounds expensive. This is late Victorian electroplate, which is mass-produced and is basically what it is.
Silver plate will never ever command as high prices as silver does at auction, because obviously it doesn't have that intrinsic silver content to it. But I think when you've got a fun piece of novelty silver plate, often it can command good prices in the sale room. You just have to be quite careful about what you buy. But if there's some negotiation on that price, I think that could be a goer.
Can a deal be done with dealer Victoria?
What could be your best price on that, my love?
The best price will be £30.
I like that. For £30, Victoria, that will be my first purchase of the day.
Christina is hoping that the electroplated cruet set will spice up her competition with Charles. Back in Kirby Malzard, Carlos is leaving no nook unscoured or cranny unprobed in his hunt for a hidden gem.
Is there anything I've missed in here at all?
I do have a storeroom.
Upstairs?
Yes, up in there too.
Is it public and open or?
No, that'd be just for you.
Oh my goodness me, really? May we go upstairs?
Come on then.
This could be where the treasure really is. I'll follow your lead.
Okay.
So we're going through your kitchen.
I know.
Okay, we'll keep on going. But you never know, things can be found in the
my
kitchen.
dad.
Hello, Dad, how are you? Do you mind us coming through? You're a good man, thumbs up. Okay, this is so exciting.
Mind your head
Goodness
there.
me. Oh, I say, it's like an Aladdin's cave.
It's a whole new world in here.
I'm just feeling there's something around here, there must be. That's pretty, isn't it, the old wool work? Maybe pick it up, do you mind, if you put your side up? That's lovely. Look at that. Sadly, it's been obviously threadbare across here. This is it a cockatoo?
Yeah.
On this, what we call beaded and woolwork ground, typical of Berlin of the late 19th century, in this beautiful Baroque cartouche frame. It may have been originally a fire screen
I think. Yeah.
with a base that's now not here.
Charles has got a bird in his hand, but it may not be going cheap. Oh dear.
What would you charge me if I bought this and the chest downstairs? Because the chest is 80.
It's 2 for 95.
I'll take the two together. Can you shake my hand? Thanks ever so much.
Charles has his first 2 items of the trip, and off he motors. Good. Meanwhile, Christina has made her way to Ripon in North Yorkshire. This market town is a hotbed of history. It's welcomed Anglo-Saxon kings and was ransacked during the Norman conquest. To Today, Christina is here to learn about an ancient local ceremony, the setting of the watch, from one of the town's hornblowers, Wayne Cobbett.
So the ceremony we perform, setting the watch, involves us coming out in our full regalia at 9 o'clock every night, and on the strike of 9 we perform a blast at each corner of the obelisk.
So this obelisk here?
Yes.
Oh, wow, okay.
That all sounds very quaint and has a ye-old charm, but the setting of the watch began during one of the bloodiest periods in our island's history. In the 9th century, Vikings were plundering the coastline in hit-and-run raids on the rich Christian monasteries, but in 865 their tactics changed, and they began moving inland, leaving a trail of death and destruction in their wake. Ripon instructed a group of its residents to keep watch over the town from night till morning, and since 886, without fail, a horn has been sounded at 9 p.m. to mark the beginning of the watch.
You're a part of history.
It's proud, really, is all I can say, that I can be part of it and carry it on.
Absolutely. So can anyone blow the horn?
No, only officially appointed hornblowers are allowed to blow the horn.
I doubt that's the first time Wayne has been asked that question. The first horn was gifted to the people of Ripon by the Anglo-Saxon King Alfred the Great, who ruled the ancient kingdom of Wessex. He was instrumental in halting the Viking army's conquest of Britain.
So how many horns have there been?
So we've had 4 horns used for the ceremony over the years. The original.
Only 4?
Only 4. We still have the original horn,
A 9th century horn?
a 9th century horn.
A horn that's 1,000 years old?
Yeah, so we believe, yeah. We still have
Really?
it. Yeah.
God, it's amazing. I'd love to see it.
Of course you can, yeah. We'll bring it over right now.
And no, you can't have a toot on this horn either, Christina. The horn and ceremonial sash are highly prized.
So if you'd like to take hold of that.
That's amazing.
This is what we call our charter horn. It's now covered in velvet, as you can see.
So
but there is
underneath
horn.
here is the horn?
There is indeed, yes.
And
yeah.
is that like a bovine cow's horn?
Yeah, yeah.
So does this still get blown?
No, it's
No, it's very
that
too
old
precious.
and precious that we have other horns for the ceremony itself. It's kept safe under lock and key normally, and only comes out one day of the year for mare making.
For what doing?
For mare making.
Mare making?
Mare making, yes.
That sounds fascinating. Oh, mare making,
making,
as
yes.
opposed to making a mermaid.
Oh, no, no.
Sounds like mermaid making. Mare making.
Mare making.
In 1605, Ripon elected its first mayor, the chief hornblower of the day, Hugh Ripley. A statue of Mayor Ripley is located in Ripon Cathedral. It's said he ruled with a rod of iron, and his ghost still haunts the town to this very day.
Tell me about the mythology surrounding Ripley's house.
So Hugh is said to still look over our ceremony, and if we are remiss in our duties and don't do it properly,
Right.
he will come and wreak havoc in the city.
Really?
He will indeed, yes. His ghost still looks over us.
Oh, has that ever happened?
Not to me, luckily,
Yeah.
but the last dealings we had on the 3rd of January 2011, where the hornblower of the day unfortunately couldn't set the watch properly, his lips froze to the mouthpiece, and reportedly on 3 minutes past 9, an earthquake hit Ripon, measuring 3.6 on the Richter scale.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Oh, so literally if you don't do your job properly, we're in trouble.
Yes, indeed, yeah.
Okay. Oh, no pressure.
You are welcome to come and see the watch being set later tonight.
Would you mind if I brought Charles with me?
Oh, I think that would be allowed.
Do you think you're sure? You'll probably be late.
Well, it's 9 o'clock sharp.
Okay, 9 o'clock sharp. Don't be late.
That gives our intrepid antiqueurs just a few more hours of relic hunting. With the sun shining and the invigorating Yorkshire air, Charles is overflowing with the joys of life, even more than normal.
We are on top of the grouse moors of North Yorkshire, and this car is glinting the sun. The Spider is fearless.
Carlos is making his way to Pateley Bridge on the banks of the River Nid. He's seeking out Crow's Nest antiques. Charles has just under £80 in his pocket, but what to buy? He's positively spoiled for choice.
Sometimes it's the small objects which jump out at you. Look at that. These miniature little teawares or vessels are really quite popular. The handle's in nice condition, the enamelling hasn't rubbed. A Davenport miniature Imari pattern vase, circa 1880, priced at £22, and really, it's quite rare. I like that.
That's a definite maybe.
That's interesting. No tag. What a peculiar object. What are they? A pair of fruit nips or a pair of sugar nips?
Let's ask shop owner Linda.
Do you know what? I love the question of what's its function. What is it?
It's a Victorian skirt lifter.
So it's a skirt lifter. Oh, how interesting. Let me try and see this works. So I attach it to your skirt.
And then you close it,
Yeah.
and then I can walk
So
around.
what do you do with it then?
It's not a lead, Charles. A skirt lifter, or to give it its rather more refined French name, porte-jupe, was a device used by Victorian ladies for lifting a long skirt to avoid mud or puddles. It clamped onto the hem and was attached to the waist by a ribbon or chain.
Beautiful object. How much is it?
Oh, you can have those for £10.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Mental note, I'll hang it up here.
Right,
I'll
okay.
Keep on wandering round.
Okay.
That's nice. I quite like this. This little toast rack, it's also in form, it's quite wavy. And that wavy form, to me, signifies a bit of the Art Nouveau. This is a handsome toast rack to serve any good breakfast table. Linda,
Yes.
I've been admiring this toast rack.
It's beautiful.
How much could that be?
The ticket price on that is 58. To you, Charles, that can be £40.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I like that for £40. OK, so that's 40, that's a tenner. There's one thing on the mantelpiece over there. Can you see that little small Imari
yes.
ewer?
Mhm.
It's priced at £22. How much could it be?
16?
Really?
Yes.
I think I'll go for a hat trick.
Oh.
I'll take all three.
Lovely.
Which means 40 plus 10 is 50, plus 16 is...
66.
It was a good year, wasn't it?
It certainly
Of course.
was.
England won the World Cup,
Yes.
and who knows? This might
Yeah.
be my victory in my
Absolutely.
victory. Thanks a lot.
Pleasure.
Wonderful.
That's another 3 antiques for Charles, but he only has £10 left to spend tomorrow. As our day draws to a close, Christina has brought Charles to Ripon to see the setting of the watch by Hornblower Way.
He's got some chest on them.
Yeah, that is a pair of lungs.
Saluting.
This is 1,100 years of history, Charles.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Yeah. There's a ghost of Hugh Ripley might appear at that window. And if he's dissatisfied with what Wayne's done, we're all in trouble. And the last time he was dissatisfied, there was an earthquake.
Oh, don't say that.
Yeah, seriously.
Hold tight.
Yeah. Hold tight, ready? Get ready, get ready. I think personally that is a good job, well done. Bravo, Wayne, bravo. Perfectly done.
The watch is set, and now bedways is right ways. It's a grey, misty morning on the moors of North Yorkshire for Charles and Christina.
Get your hand off my gear stick. Get your hand off the gear stick.
You're so naughty, Charles. The only bright speck round here, the California yellow of the 1960s Fiat Spider, and Charles's attire.
Can you please just wear a jacket that's not quite so bright, because then the sun might start to shine.
Christine, I see the jacket as a beacon of belief in
beacon?
actually being able to uncover
A beacon
the
of
treasures.
belief.
A beacon of belief. And, OK, my jacket is quite loud. Yours is quite...
Mine's very autumnal.
Mine-
Darling, this is vintage Bieber.
Beaver.
No.
It's Beaver. Oh my God. There's
Bieber.
Beaver in the car. Say again. Oh, Bieber. As in Christian Bieber, the singer.
Classic 1960s.
Justin Bieber, you mean?
Christian Bieber. Yeah, just like Christian Bieber.
I think.
So down with the
But it's
kids.
very, very smart. What age is it?
It's 1960s.
Oh, fabulous.
Matches the car.
We are swinging in a 60s style.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Groovy. Yesterday, Christina was very canny with her cash, buying only one item, her silver-plated cruet set,
I think that's really quite sweet.
for £30. Charles, however, went on an antique spending spree, splurging a total of £161 on 5 items: the miniature jug,
It's quite rare.
the silver toast rack, the Georgian chest of drawers, and a couple of quirky curios, the parrot embroidery, and a Victorian skirt lifter, as you do.
So what do you do with it then? I just went for it.
Well, you were in one of those moods yesterday.
I
You were
am.
fired up and ready to go. Are you confident in your purchases?
Sometimes I think you buy with a bit of impatience. Sometimes I probably shouldn't have been quite so easy on the eye.
Have you panicked?
No.
I think you have.
No.
I think you have.
Yes.
It's a case of keep calm and carry on. After dropping off Charles, Christina is crossing the county lines from North to West Yorkshire on her way to the parish of Thorpe Arch. The village is home to Decoporium, which is stuffed to the gunnels with relics of bygone ages. Vintage furniture and antiques from a variety of dealers, and lots of it.
Oh, look at these. Those are very light ones. That's quite cool, isn't it? Look at that. I've not seen one of these before. £65. French antique weights. Must be very fit, the French.
Ah ouais, mais oui. Énorme, je pense.
They must have been for a gym, mustn't they? Whoever what it was who owned these used to use the one kilos. Not so much this one. Oh my gosh, that's quite heavy. What weight's that? 5 kilograms. 5 kilograms. Fuck off, 10 kilograms, quite heavy, isn't it?
No pay, no gain. You pump it, lady.
Christina needs to be fighting fit when she goes nose to nose with Charles at the auction. But first, she'll have to box clever with shop owner Billy.
£65. Is there any leeway in that at all?
Seconds out. Round 1.
What are you thinking?
Well, to be honest, I was hoping for sort of £30–40.
Christina starts with a right hook.
Can you do 50?
Oh, that's below the belt.
I'd be happier at 40.
Christina counters with an uppercut.
What about 45 then?
45.
That's fair.
£45, I'm happy.
Thank you very
That's
much.
great. Thank you very much, Billy.
Christina chucks in the towel at £45. Meanwhile, Charles is headed to the ancient city of York. Known as the historic capital of the North, it's famous for the Gothic York Minster and its medieval city walls. In the 15th century, the city was the seat of power of the House of York, who battled the House of Lancaster for the English throne. This savage conflict became known as the Wars of the Roses. Charles is heading to the city walls to learn more about this civil war from visitor operations manager Ronald Kane.
Oh, light. Sunshine.
Oh, fantastic.
What a view.
It is indeed. There's the Minster. You'll not get a view of the Minster like this anywhere else.
Oh. So these walls, they were around at the time of the War of the Roses.
Absolutely, yes. The medieval walls in York reached their height around the middle of the 15th century, which is when the Wars of the Roses started.
1450.
Yep, that's right, yeah, 1455. The actual conflict itself was brutal, it was bloody, and it was an all-or-nothing game.
In 1377, King Edward III died after a long and prosperous reign. The wars began as various factions within his family tried to seize the throne. Forces gathered behind the House of York, whose emblem was a white rose, and the House of Lancaster, signified by a red rose.
If we think about a family at war like this, you're talking 3 generations that were involved from start to finish. One of the first battles that happened not too far from York's walls itself, over at Towton. It was decided before that battle that no quarter was to be given, and that meant no taking of prisoners, and it was one of the bloodiest battles that was ever fought on English soil.
The Battle of Towton in 1461 was to prove a decisive victory for the White Rose of York. Over 25,000 soldiers were slaughtered. Gosh. The River Aire was said to have run red for days with the blood of the dead.
So where are we now?
Well, we're standing now on the first floor here at Monk Bar, which is one of the primary gatehouses in York City walls. Here beside us, we've got a reproduction of one of the suits of armour that would be used by the nobility during the Wars of the Roses.
Goodness me. So this was the attire from circa 1450, and it was really the reserve of the more noble fighters.
Exactly, yes. If you're going to be the knight on horseback, commanding the army, leading the charge, this is the type of thing that you're going to be wearing. And it's the pinnacle, really, of armour making as a craft at this time.
One reason for the Yorkists' victory at Towton was their prowess with the longbow. The archers were able to pick off the Lancastrian foot soldiers from a great distance before the grueling hand-to-hand combat began. Ronald has agreed to instruct our Charles in this art of medieval warfare.
I'll follow your lead, OK?
OK, so point yourself towards the target.
Yep.
Hold your bow arm up nice and straight.
Yep.
And taut. Your arrow, take it from your quiver. 3 fingers.
Yes.
One above, one below. Draw. Find your mark, and when you're ready, loose.
Oh, goodness me. You know, that's a hard act to follow. I mean, they do call me the Dead-Eye Dick from Derbyshire. That's almost a bullseye. I've got to imagine as a knight coming down that medieval meadow, about to kill me, knock me out.
Personally, I wouldn't trust him with a needle and thread, never mind a bow and arrow. Look out.
Draw. And when you're ready, loose.
Oh, it wasn't bad.
No.
Not bad for starters.
And if you can imagine, at any given battle, you could have hundreds of archers, and an arrow storm. They were very deadly, and they were used to devastating effect.
The Wars of the Roses raged for decades, but in the end, neither the House of York or Lancaster would rule for long. In 1485, Henry Tudor claimed the final victory in this Game of Thrones. With a boot full of weights, Christina is beginning to think that she's the dumbbell.
I bought some weights. Why did I buy weights? And I'm really starting to panic because I haven't really bought anything that I see is going to make me a huge amount of money. I'm quite anxious.
Christina's got one more shop to visit in the village of Pannell, North Yorkshire. And just over £100. Spend wisely, my friend. Crimpel Hall Antique Centre is ginormous. With over 50 different dealers, it stocks a wide variety of items, including apes in hats. Note, Christina, do not buy that.
This is an unexpected little joy. Looks very, very familiar. Yes, absolutely. Look at this. So this, if you look at its bottom here, you see this green squiggle. This is actually signed WM. And above that, printed in brown, is the McIntyre mark. Now this piece was designed by a gentleman called William Moorcroft, for his very first employer. Now, Moorcroft started working for the McIntyre factory in 1897. He was very privileged in that he was one of the only artists really to be able to sign their works for McIntyre. But as a result, he became incredibly famous in his own right rather than his employer, and his employer unfortunately became a little bit jealous. So they actually closed down his workshop in 1912. He then went on to go and start up his own company, Moorcroft, that we know today. This little thing, it has been quite extensively restored, but it's really cute. And it says on here, £30. £30 for a piece of Moorcroft McIntyre Florian ware. That's got to be worth opening it up to the market and seeing what they'll pay for it. I think it's fabulous.
Fab! There's still plenty more to explore.
That's rather sweet, isn't it? Look at that. Oh, that's really cute. So you've got little desk stand. So you've got your central inkwell here, and obviously your faithful hounds there guarding your pen for you, so that when it's there when you want to write your letters and write your correspondence. That's rather lovely. What does it say? Art Deco, desk tidy and inkwell. But I've never seen one with these dogs on before. I think there's something wonderful about dogs and dog lovers, and I'm hoping that the dog lovers in the world might see this and think, oh, I need 2 faithful hounds for my desk. It is marked up at £75, which is quite a lot of money.
Here comes Charles in that unique lolloping gallop of his. He's already bought 5 items and has just £10 and change in his pocket.
Actually, I've got a few regrets because looking around me here and particularly over here, there's some really good fresh objects which I would have bought, but I can't. I'm out of money.
Just looking at these pair of cloisonné vases, look at the colours in that. This is quite magnificent. The technique of cloisonné is this wonderful wirework detail which is then filled with molten glass to create a sort of stained glass window effect. Absolutely exquisite and such a shame. I mean, collectors of cloisonné want them in good condition. As soon as it's damaged, like here, it's very, very difficult to repair. But at the same time, £22. £22 for all that work. Well, I can't leave them here. I just can't. It's not going to happen. I'm going to take them with me.
The McIntyre Moorcroft vase has a ticket price of £30. The doggy desk tidy, £75, and the cloisonné vases, £22. Can Christina do a deal with dealer Michael? Michael?
So if we said 60 on the desk stand, 20 on the vases, and 20 on the mini Moorcroft, that's £100.
Yeah.
Would that be all right?
Yeah.
Yeah?
That was easy. For a combined total of £100, Christina has bought all 3 items and has herself a big old box of delights. Well done.
Come on.
Well, how can I get in the car with the box set?
Well, just sit down. Now, don't break. That's very valuable. Don't
Sorry,
stop.
Christina.
Stop it.
Sorry, I can't see a thing.
Well, good. That's probably best.
How can I direct you to where we're going?
Well, don't, because your map reading is horrendous at the best of
Christina,
times.
Christina, I'm stuck.
You're fine.
Christina, it's not funny
It's
at all.
absolutely fine.
Christina.
No, it's fine. You're perfect.
Christina.
Perfect.
Go get some shut-eye, mon amigos.
It's auction day, and we're in Rotherham in South Yorkshire to see if Charles and Christina can turn a profit on their antique picks when they go under the hammer.
Come on, Christina. I'm on the up. I am seriously on the up.
That's what worries me.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, is it locked?
There we go.
Oh.
In you go.
Come on, shake a tail feather, you two. Our duo began their trip in Kirby Malzard in North Yorkshire and are ending their travels south of the county line in Rotherham. Today's auction is being held by Paul Bayton Auctioneers. Christina bought 5 lots for a total of £175.
This could be the game changer. Christina's forget-me-nots McIntyre Moorcroft vase. £20, absolute bargain. Help!
Oh, for goodness sake, Charles, pull yourself together. He bought 5 items for the princely sum of £161.
You know, this is a lovely piece of furniture. Charlie paid only £80. It might be that this slightly smaller proportion chest of drawers is better suited to the modern home. I hope it does well for him because it's a beautiful piece of furniture.
At 40, 45, 50.
Today's auctioneer is Jody Baton. Let's get his expert opinion on our pair's purchases.
The vintage weights and sand, it's a really good looking thing. There's that distressed look on the chipped paint, so they've really got that vintage vibe going. I think there is a bit of pre-sale interest, so I'm hopeful for those. The toast rack for me is the standout item. It ticks all the boxes, it's solid silver, it's a great design, it's in wonderful condition, so I've got high hopes for that one. I think it's going to be a highly contested piece.
Bidders are poised. Numbers at the ready on the phone, online and in the... Whoops! Daisy Charles.
Sorry. I'm okay.
Sit down.
I'm okay.
Well, at least he didn't break his leg.
Sit down.
I'm okay. I'm okay. Okay.
First up is his cockatoo embroidery.
I think your cockatoo is going to earn you £1 or two.
You know how we say ale cock? We're on the borders.
Do you listen to anything I say?
Yeah, of course I do.
That was funny.
What was funny?
Start me £30.
£30.
20 if you like. £10 if you must.
No.
10 bid there. 12, 14 on the right, 16, 18, 20, 22.
Oh, there we go. Instant profit.
Ale cock.
If you're all done and sure at 20,
£5 profit. That's a feather in his cap, all right.
That's okay. I can live with that.
Well done. Very well done.
Next is Christina's cruet set.
I think both you and I are getting a little bit salt and pepper.
But if I was being really honest with you, I
days.
haven't seen such well-cut salts and... I like that.
We are then, aren't we?
Yeah,
We're getting old, Charlie.
I know, don't. I know, don't.
internet's at £12, 14 in the room there, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 35, 40. Bids at £35 and 40 with... if you're all through at £35,
Christina and Charles have both made £5 from their first lots.
Good. You can't grumble.
Now, will Carlos's miniature jug make a giant profit?
Ever so nice, £16.
But it's about this big, isn't it?
bids at £12 with the internet, 14, 16, 18 we're looking for. Internet's at 20.
Come on.
I've got 22 online
It's okay. Keep going.
at £22 and selling.
He's made a small but perfectly formed £6.
Small profit, big results.
Exactly.
Will Christina's Japanese vases be a money maker?
The Eastern market is buying back its good cloisonne, and importantly, these were good.
The internet starts us at £12. 14, let's see. 14 in the room.
Come on, Christina.
Come on.
18, 20,
You've done
24,
it, you've done it. Broken even.
26, 28, 30, 35, 40 new bid at 45 for £50 and away.
Ha! The vases have vavoomed up Christina's profits.
Take a bow. It's hers. Good results.
Next up, Charles's skirt lifter.
How did you manage to get this for £10? And why are you buying skirt lifters?
Charles is speechless. First time ever.
Come on.
Straight online, 14, 16, 18 we're looking for, 22 internet bidders, 22, 24, 26 with you. Internet's at 24, the room's waiting, 26, 28, 30, 26, 28, 30.
Go on.
35, 40, 45. The room take 5, any advance.
Show me something.
At 40, 45. The bid's at £50, looking for 55, any advance. All done and due at 50.
Charles's profits are at a new high too, thanks to the skirt lifter.
I think that is my favourite purchase that you have made this road trip.
Really?
Yeah, love it.
Well, that says a lot.
Yeah.
The wait is over. Christina's vintage dumbbells are up.
Charlie, you don't need the... Oh, my God.
Isn't it?
Charlie, where have you been hiding those guns?
Internet bids opens us up at £110. Any advance, 120 with you. It's in and out at £110 online.
One bid. Boom. And sold for a tidy sum.
That's a big result.
Yeah, seriously. Thanks, Charlie.
I feel pumped up at that. Now it's a silver toast rack.
Hopefully there's a bar who really wants to butter this up. Oh. Get it? Butter. Crumbs. It might do well.
I have a commission of 60, 65, 75. My bid's at £70,
Come on.
70, 85, 90. Bids at 90 internet, 95, 100.
Crumbs.
Bids at 95 in the seats, 110, 120. And in the seats, 120, 130, 140. At 140 internet, it's 140, 150.
Price for a
At 140 and away.
Wow, Charles will be toasting his success.
I fancy a bit of toast, actually, now. In celebration.
Can Christina's doggy desk stand turn an equally impressive profit?
I love the spaniels. They're beautifully chased.
Not spaniels.
What are they?
They're greyhounds.
Sorry, greyhounds.
Commission starters at 60, 65, 75, 80,
4 hands going up.
90, 95, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150.
Christina Trevanion.
140 and away.
Hot diggity dog.
Come back.
Went too
Come
far
by.
for my liking,
Come by.
Christina. Then come back to me.
What do they say? Come by and...
Come by art. My lord, that was a great result, honestly.
Charles's final item is next. The Georgian chest of drawers.
It could even be Chippendale in style. Chippendale. Like me, Chippendale, Christina.
Chip and
like me,
Dale.
Chippendale.
If that
you
is
watch this,
ever
Christina.
seen Chippendale.
60 bid.
Come on.
60 bid.
65, 70,
gorgeous
75,
chest.
80, 5, 90,
See?
Point.
100, 110,
Go on. Keep going.
120, 130,
Keep going.
140, 150,
Well done, Charlie.
160,
Christina.
Oh, you've doubled your money.
180, new bid. 190.
What? No, enough
180
now.
stood then. 180 if you're all down.
It's such a...
That's a top drawer profit.
You need some oomph in the furniture market.
Are you saying that you're the umph in the furniture market? Oh my goodness, we're all doomed.
It's the final lot now. Christina's McIntyre Moorcroft vase.
Everything I bought, I wanted to take this McIntyre vase.
And you know what? This could take off like a rocket.
Internet bidders started straight away at £100, back of the room 120,
Told
against
you.
the internet 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170, 170 will you? Bids
Christina, you're in the
160,
money.
180, 190,
Oh, it's amazing.
200 bid, 220, 240. Bids at
Very
220,
good day.
240, 260, 280.
Wonderful result, Christina.
My
280
heart,
will you?
my goodness.
All done and sure
Do
for
you know what?
260.
Exciting.
I can't believe
But
that.
surely that's more money than I started this leg with.
I just cannot believe it.
Yeah. A tiny item has just turned a huge profit.
I'm over the moon. And
Come on,
dare I
let's go.
say it.
Onwards and upwards.
Today has been worthy of a song and dance. Mind that step, Charles. Charles started with just over £170 in his little piggy. After auction costs, he's made £176.84, giving him just under £350 for next time. Christina began with just over £190. After sale room fees today, she's made a whopping £312.90p profit and now has just over £500 for the last trip, which is phenomenal.
We are now on the up, finally.
Yeah, well, Charlie, it's been about time, let's be honest.
Exactly, but one more auction to go. Can I catch Christina? Christina? Christina?
Next time, Antique Fever.
Take me home today, please. I need a new home.
A bird rescue.
I got it.
And car trouble.
Oh, Christina, there's some smoke. Guys, the car's smoking.
The car is on
car's
fire!